Today I'm going to be showing you how to remove the intake manifold on a 2009 Audi A4. Figured I'd make the video because people make this seem a lot harder than it really is. It takes like 10 minutes if you know how to do it. So we're going to start at the back of the car here. First thing I like to do is disconnect the battery. Need a 10mm socket for this. After you get them loose, you just pull up. So the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the oil pressure sensor. Easy. Then we're going to go over here to the camshaft position sensor. Some of these plugs can be a bit tricky. These ones here, you just press down at the back and pull. And ones like this, same kind of idea. You just press down on this piece and pull back. Sometimes you might need some needle nose pliers. Next, we're going to go for this evap line right here. Just push down on top and bottom. Pull it out. And we'll go for this breather hose, same kind of thing. This one can be a pain sometimes though. That's that. We'll go set this aside somewhere. Next, we'll go for the sensor on the back of the intake manifold. Got that one off. Then we'll go for the throttle body sensor here. Pop it off. Next, I just use a flat head, but we're gonna disconnect the clamp here for the hose. You can use a socket for this too, but flathead's easier to find for me. Just twist it till it's loose. Should be good. And then just gonna push it till it comes off. You can get the other end down here, but I usually just take it and tuck it back over here. That'll stay. Next, we're gonna have 3 sensors down here. The green one, that big one, and the medium-sized one. Disconnect. Okay, so we got those 3 disconnected. This green female end is actually gonna be in the way. You can do it later, but we're just gonna slide it out of the bracket. Just like that, slide it out. The other ones are fine. Next, we have the purge valve here. We're gonna disconnect the clip. Got that loose. And we're gonna go for the purge valve hose here. You're gonna need some pliers to pull this clamp. What you're gonna do is just grip them like that and slide it back. Sometimes you'll lose it like that. Just keep doing it. Once you get it back far enough, you're just gonna pull this hose out of the rubber end, like that. Next, you don't have to do this. I've seen people do it without it, but I'm gonna take the throttle body off and clean it while I have it off. So it's just 4 T30s, 1, 2 right here, and there's 2 more at the bottom. These are what the screws look like for the throttle body. There's 4 of them. And there's our throttle body disconnected. You might want to change the gasket, it's up to you. Next, we're jumping back over by these clips, and here we have the purge solenoid. You're gonna follow this hose right here, all the way down to the purge solenoid, and you're gonna pull straight up. Got that hose disconnected. Now we're gonna go for this sensor over here. So the purge solenoid has been disconnected. So next, at the back of the motor here, we're gonna go for that 17mm bolt on the end of the high pressure fuel line here. Get some paper towel and put it underneath because fuel will come out of here. Get your 17mm open-ended wrench. Twist. And there's the fuel. So I like to just hand twist it loose. And then just let it sit there and let the fuel kind of spill out for a little bit. So next we're going under the manifold. You're gonna see, you're gonna see this sensor right here. I'm gonna disconnect that. I already pulled it loose. So. Next, we're gonna get our T30 again, and we're gonna take this screw out holding the bracket for these lines. There's our screw, there's the bracket. Pull it out of the way. Getting pretty close here. Next is gonna be the oil filter. Get your clamps and we'll spin that off. Oil's gonna come out, so be careful. We'll clean that up and then always put a plastic bag or something over it to cover the hole. Don't want anything falling in there. Okay, so we've got our hole covered now. After you've double checked you're not missing anything, we're gonna go for the intake manifold itself. It's gonna be 7 T30s, 5 across the top, 2 on the bottom, and 1, and there's one over here somewhere. kind of hidden down there, you can see it. And then there's also going to be two 10mm nuts on each end at the bottom for the studs going to the block. Okay, so now we're going to get on to removing the actual manifold after you got all those bolts out. So what you're going to do, you're going to push down and then up on the intake manifold, and that's just going to kind of break the gasket free from the block. Down and up, so you can feel it kind of wiggle. Mine's already a bit loose. I'm going to be replacing the gasket. And then after that, you're going to grab here and here. You're going to pull side to side, and that'll wiggle it out. Sign off. Just be careful. If all 4 fuel injectors don't come with it, you're going to have fuel leaking out. So be mindful of that. Now we got it off. There are the fuel injectors. They all came out with it. In another video, I'll show you how to pull those out if they stay in there. What you really got to watch out for is you see these clips. All 4 of them should have it. This one's a little loose, and you can see that these 2 stayed in the hole. You can see the washers there. So just make sure you pull those out before you reinstall this. Now would be a good time to change the water pump if you're going to do that. And make sure you cover up these holes. In another video, I'll show you how to clean the valves all inside there. And I'm also going to show you how to replace the fuel injectors. Pretty easy. Not really any special tricks unless you're resealing them, which in my case I won't be. I'm just going to buy some new injectors. They're already on the way. And we'll be changing the purge valve as well. I'll do that in another video. As you can see, that was pretty easy. Took me like 10 minutes, something like that. The Mustang is dead, so we're just going to jump that real quick and get it. This one's on jacks. The jumper cord is not going to be long enough. See if we can get the reach with this. Just my luck, it's also got a flat tire. That's awesome. Barely got any gas in here either. Perfect. Just gonna have to let it warm up for a minute and then see what we can do. Had to go turn the car around just to get at it. Jumper cord is not very long. Found these jumper cables are about 15 feet longer than the other ones. Gonna throw them on my new Audi, see if we can reach. Got the hood popped. If you're wondering why there's no bumper, I got a new splitter coming. And it's a lot easier to install when it's off. It's been a while since it's been started. You can tell from the smoke, holy. Let it run for a minute and then I'll disconnect the cables. Well, the Mustang is very dead. Kept having to move for people pulling down the driveway, so I'm just gonna go get a new battery. Whatever. Also, this Audi here is not the same one that I'm working on the video. This is my other Audi. Just bought it, 2016. It's got really low miles. It's gonna be like a daily driver kind of thing. I got new summers for it. Obviously, it's not summer right now, so I got the wheels off. I'm gonna do a video on painting them and what I think the best way to do it is, and what I think the best way to paint them is. I think I'm gonna paint the calipers as well. Why not? But I mean, the interior is in perfect condition. It's an S-Line, but for some reason I feel like the S-Line had a different style of seat. I don't know if it's a package thing. It's got the badge for it there. And the diffuser is also from the S-Line package, so I'm not really sure how that works. These cars all look really similar. Then I'm also just waiting on a couple other parts for it. In the next video, I'll install those and we'll put the bumper back on, the wheels. Let me know what you want to see for these cars as well. Parts, any more content for them. Love help with ideas. I also got some more parts for the Mustang coming along. I got a diffuser, and then I got some new interior pieces as well. It's gonna be a bit before I can post videos of actually driving the cars. I don't have a license right now. I got that suspended for the second time. Pretty brutal. It's gonna be the end of the video. I hope that made it easier to understand how to remove the manifold, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.